Hey, good morning out there. I'm meteorologist Chita Craft. It's 8:01 on this Wednesday morning. And notice temperatures today, we are in the 40s, so not expecting temperatures at the freezing point. We've got clouds in place, but I'm not expecting rain today. So for your Wednesday, well above the freezing point, 40s will transition to 50s. Notice even a pop of that sunshine through the clouds today is expected, so not bad here for today. Today is the day to make all of your last preparations for your home and for your family before our below freezing temperatures settle in. And again, some of these wind chill temperatures are going to be down to the single digits and teens by Friday morning. And that's really what we're preparing you for, is this hard freeze. So the National Weather Service yesterday afternoon did issue a hard freeze watch and a wind chill watch. Both will be upgraded today to warning. So we'll have a hard freeze warning and a wind chill warning in effect, and that'll take effect late Thursday and through the morning on Friday. So that's basically what we're preparing you for, is tomorrow afternoon and evening right through early Friday. So let me walk you through this timeline. Arctic air arrives tomorrow, Thursday, between 2 to 5 p.m. right through your afternoon hours. Wind chill temperatures by Friday morning will be in the single digits, not out of the question, sub-zero. So below zero wind chill readings potentially on the north side. And then freezing temperatures potentially below freezing could last between 35 to 45 hours. So in comparison to the freeze of 2021, temperatures will not be quite as cold and the duration of our below freezing temperatures will not be quite as long, but they're going to come close. It's going to be very, very close, just like our last hard freeze. So let me walk you through the timeline. 10 o'clock this evening, we are in the 40s, and so is the entire state of Texas. Notice Denver, even to Garden City, we're looking at single-digit readings. Getting into tomorrow morning, so this is Thursday, 5:30, 6 below zero in Denver. That is that Arctic air that's going to be on the move. Notice Lubbock already starting to transition. Dallas, after 5:30 tomorrow morning through lunchtime, they'll start continuing to drop down to the 20s. At lunchtime here locally tomorrow, if any of you have any holiday parties, if you've got those last minute errands that you were hoping to run, you're going to be able to do it. We're in the mid 60s. Tomorrow at noon, most of you are going to say it's not that bad. The cold air has not arrived yet. Watch what happens from noon on Thursday through the afternoon hours. This is 3 o'clock. We'll go from 60s to 40s. So in a matter of a couple of hours, we'll drop about 20 degrees. Take a look at, again, what's going on with Denver, 2 below zero. Dallas still sitting in the 20s, Lubbock in the teens. By Thursday evening, this is 7:30, area-wide temperatures here locally are in the 20s. Teens expected in Dallas. Again, check out Denver at 5 below zero. I look at areas to our north, and then especially I'm going to show you through the Midwest, through the Great Lakes. It's just a great indication of how cold and dangerous this Arctic air that's going to be moving in. By Friday morning, 5:30, 17 in Houston, 10 degrees in Dallas. The entire state going to be in the teens, potentially single digits. Actual air temperatures, and then some of our feels like temperatures, again, area-wide single digits, maybe even sub-zero. Here's a hyper-local look at the timeline for tomorrow. Thursday noon, area-wide 60s. Getting into about 12:45, 1 o'clock, that cold air is on the move. So watch the leading edge of this, dipping down into the 30s in College Station. By 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, here in town, temperatures will be in the 40s. So we go from mid-60s at noon down to the mid to upper 40s by about 2:30, 3 o'clock tomorrow. Notice our coastal communities, if you're watching from Galveston, maybe even League City, those areas, you're going to see the cold air arrive a little bit later. Give it another hour or two, and then it's going to be impacting everyone. By 5:30 tomorrow afternoon, while some of you are preparing dinner, trying to make it in from work, that's when temperatures will be at or below the freezing point. Once we get into about 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, notice this is 7:30 on our future track, we're tracking temperatures in the 20s, and these are actual air temperatures expected for your Thursday evening. So this is when you already want to have everything done. If you can prepare today or at latest early tomorrow morning, because once we get into tomorrow night, it's already going to be below freezing. By Friday morning, area-wide teens, 14 College Station, 16 in Sugar Land, and these are actual air temperatures. Wind gusts by Friday morning and Thursday night potentially could be up to 40 to 45 miles per hour. So it's the north wind combined with that Arctic air that's going to make some of our feels like temperatures, wind chill temperatures outside at single digits to below zero. So 3 below zero, potentially 2 below zero. You get the idea. It's the winds combined with the Arctic air. I do think throughout the day on Friday, winds will start to back off a little bit. So it'll just be that bitterly cold air that's in place for the afternoon. But we stay below freezing Friday and much of the day on Saturday. Your Christmas Eve, not expected to climb into the upper 30s until the afternoon hours. So even looking ahead to Christmas Day, we're expecting for sure our top 5 coldest Christmases on record, potentially the top 3. If the forecast verifies, with low temperatures in the mid to low 20s, that'll go down as our 3rd coldest Christmas on record. Now, I do want to show you across the country because we are all going to be dealing with this. If you're welcoming in relatives or maybe some friends, let's say from our northern states, I know they're probably laughing saying it's not that bad. But here locally, again, top 5 to top 3 coldest Christmases. Really, really cold. The type of cold that you're going to have to prepare your home for. But let's talk about it. Current temperatures right now, 42 in Houston, 32 in Dallas, 10 below zero in Rapid City, 13 degrees in Chicago. We have anybody either from Chicago or welcoming in people from Chicago, 31 in New York. I'm going to take this, put it into future track tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. because remember today here locally, we're staying in the 40s and 50s. So let's get into where the cold air really starts to advance southward. So Thursday morning, 9 a.m., 15 below in Rapid City. Chicago's still sitting at 30 degrees. Denver, potentially 12 below zero, depending on the model run there, 26 in Dallas. So getting into Thursday afternoon and evening, 6 o'clock, 20s here, teens in Dallas, 10 below zero in Denver, 4 below zero in Minneapolis, Chicago sitting single digits, 6 degrees. And they're also going to be dealing with moisture. So that's our next thought here. A lot of you have been asking about the potential of ice or snow. All that moisture is expected to head to our north and to our east. We're not going to tap into that. So even though you see 15 degrees Friday, 7 a.m., 10 in Dallas, different from our last freeze, we're not expecting ice and we're not expecting snow at this point because all the moisture heads to our north. It's just going to be bitterly cold air that's in place that you want to have all those exposed pipes wrapped in advance today or early tomorrow morning. If you haven't seen what you should do to winterize your home, go to KHOU.com. We have those lists of what you should do. First and foremost, right on our homepage there. Getting into Friday afternoon, 22 Dallas, 28 in Houston. I think this forecast is going to hold and verify. 16 in Denver, 2 below zero there in Chicago. That's actually our temperature, so that's not combining the wind there, and about the same for the Northeast. Now, talking about the moisture content with this. This is tomorrow. Notice big chunk of that, of course, that transitions into snow, stays towards the Great Lakes, pushes into the Northeast region of the country. We've got clouds tomorrow. Maybe a 10% chance, I think, ahead of that really cold air of maybe seeing a stray shower. But most of this tomorrow will just be in the form of clouds. That clears out really quickly. So then we've got sunny skies expected by Friday and Saturday. So cold, cold air in place, but no moisture to work with. So we're not talking about the potential of sleet, ice, or snow. It'll just be how cold these temperatures go, which is different from our last hard freeze. Today is the first official day of winter. Can you believe across the country we're all talking about the first day of winter, and we're talking about how it's going to be feeling not only winter-like but dangerously cold as we get into late Thursday evening and especially their Friday morning. Winds both Thursday afternoon and Friday will still be strong enough to give us those wind chills, 10 to 15 degrees colder than the actual air temperature, and then winds start to back off. So for your Christmas Eve, it's cold. Actual air temperature still in the teens and 20s area wide, but we're not going to get those big wind chills. So that wind chill watcher warning, once it's upgraded, that'll be set to expire probably by Friday afternoon. And then once we get into Christmas Day, still bitterly cold. I mean, 20s across the board, but at least by the afternoon hours, we will warm up to the mid to upper 40s. And get this, if you haven't seen the extended, next week, we have a warming trend by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Not only do we climb back into the 60s, next week, before we welcome in the new year, we may actually turn a corner and welcome in 70s. Let me go over the timeline once again. I know this is a live stream, so if you've either pushed it on your phone or maybe you're watching this on Facebook or Twitter, let me show you again the timeline that we're expecting with this really cold air. Arctic air arrives tomorrow for your Thursday between 2 to 5 p.m. You want to have any preparations done today or really early tomorrow morning before that cold air gets here. Wind chill temperatures Friday morning, single digits to potentially sub-zero. That is why we have a wind chill watch and a hard freeze watch in effect because these below freezing temperatures could last between 35 to 45 hours. So that duration is a long period, especially here locally. We go from 40s and 50s today. This is tonight at 10 p.m. You'll wake up about the same tomorrow morning. Notice across the state, not bad. Thursday morning, I mean, we're still tracking 40s, maybe even some 50s out there. We will build to the mid 60s by lunchtime. But notice the big contrast, 22 Dallas, 5 below zero in Denver. Actual air temperature. So that just gives you that good indication that's that Arctic air that's going to be moving across the state. At this point, though, no moisture, not even from Dallas to San Antonio, West Texas. So if you're staying in Texas or maybe even potentially Louisiana, the ice or snow, that's not expected to impact you. If you're flying, because they're going to see such snow and wind impacts to our northeast, it may have a ripple effect on some of the airlines. So if you're welcoming in some friends or family here locally, just make sure you're watching those flights, or maybe if you're trying to fly outbound. Thursday, 3 o'clock, this is when the transition really happens here. We go from 40s down to the 20s by Thursday evening. Tomorrow night, 7:30. I don't know about you, but if you can, if your job allows it, if what you have planned here for Friday and Saturday allow it, try to plan to hunker down. I mean, really late Thursday afternoon, if you can be in place, keep it there throughout the day. On Friday, you're not going to have to deal with the bitter cold outside. 16 in Dallas, 28 by Thursday evening. And then let me get you quickly into Friday morning. And this is when our coldest temperatures across the state of Texas are expected to happen, with wind chills down to the teens and single digits and maybe even below zero. So 17, 10 degrees in Dallas, you get the idea. Okay, it's going to get really, really cold really quickly. So if you haven't heard this enough, we're really just trying to prepare you and your family. I know some of you here, maybe you've moved here from the northern states, you're like, this isn't that bad. You're talking about 20s and teens. This is a typical winter day. Not so much in Houston. This will go down as potentially our top 5 or top 3 coldest Christmases on record. So we've got a hard freeze watch. We've got that wind chill watch, which will be upgraded to warnings. By Friday morning, teens area-wide with wind chill temperatures. Want to give you this last look. Wind chill temperatures Friday morning at single digits to even potentially below zero readings. We're going to continue to update you on KHOU.com, of course on TV as well, and our social platforms as well. So make sure you're checking in to get the latest information of what you and your family needed to do, prepare before Friday morning.